you know, these are all once-in-a-lifetime chances, so there's no point in me not including her, you know? She's a huge part of my camp, huge part of my life, so.
Does this make the experience with this whole thing all the better, all the more kind of powerful for you?
100%. She's living an awesome life, and I feel like if I include her in all these things, whatever she chooses to do is going to be a realistic goal for her, you know, as long as she knows the steps that she has to put into place in order for it to make it happen.
Does she understand yet that mommy's basically a superstar at this point?
Yeah.
How do you feel about all that? Because it really feels like in the last 4, 5, 6 months that you've gone from being a recognizable name in the sport, a star, and you've crossed over into sort of that superstar moment.
You know, it all feels, it's all the same to me. You know, I come home after, I've already shared this once already this week, but, you know, training 3 or 4 times a day and having this little one and dogs at the house. Sometimes I go between training camps not having time to shower. Like, I'm still a normal person, you know. It's just, life is just a lot more busy.
Is she calling out combos to you?
Yeah, she's a little coach here. Anytime she gets a chance to tell somebody what to do, she's all about it.
Having fought in Kansas City a couple times before, how does it feel to be back in KC on such a big card?
It's always a breath of fresh air when you can come to a place of familiarity, and that's what Kansas City feels like. The airport feels similar, you know, the street sounds, the smell of barbecue, all of that. And every time I fought in Kansas City, I've won.
Sure. What message do you want to pass for all women in the world about they're watching you with your kid, you know?
Keep doing what you do. You know, our dreams and our goals should not stop because we have children and because we get married and life gets ahead of us. Even if it takes you 10 years to accomplish your goal, 20 years, keep doing what you're doing because at the end of the day, it's the process that you remember anyways.
What was it like this camp training for somebody like Rose who had a nice little run going but then had a bump in the road obviously last time out?
It was a little bump in the road. You know, she lost by split decision, and then Carolina went on to fight for the belt, and she did a great job fighting against Joanna, fighting for that title. And so for me, it was just making sure that I had all my apples in order. You know, I had to make sure that every stone was left. I had to turn every single stone. And to me, I love a challenge because it makes me rise to the occasion. It forces me to get better, and that's what Rose is presenting.
You guys kind of come up together in a way, right? Do you have any kind of relationship with her?
Of course.
Outside things?
I mean, I've said it all week. She's probably my favorite strawweight fighter on the roster. You know, I like her lifestyle. I like the way she represents herself. Her background is very similar to mine. Unfortunately, it's like the Highlander, there can be only one.
Does it make it harder at all when you like your opponent?
No, because I like all my teammates and we scrap every day.
How does your camp go as far as how you do physically and how's the weight come out?
Everything's amazing. I mean, I could fight today. After my fight with Paige, there was 0 injuries. I had teammates in the gym getting ready to fight, so I came right back in to help them out. My fight camp was amazing. I went in there and I gave it my 100 every single time I had practice, and I came home and I took care of this one, and my mind's right.
When does the mom version turn off and you're like, he got hurt?
Probably the minute I get punched in the face. Just something about knowing that if I don't focus, that things can get bad really quickly, and so it just flips.
I train a lot, you know. I'm always thinking about fighting. I'm always, you know, we're always going at it in the gym. So when we're not training, we like to keep our mind off of the fight, and we like to not overthink things too much. So she keeps it light, she keeps it fun, just like my coaches do. I'm the type of person that's really hard on myself. So, you know, my coaches, they do a good job of not letting me beat myself up too much. And the same thing goes for Mishka. You know, every time I look at her, she makes me smile.
We haven't seen you in a couple minutes, you know, so was the break good for you? Was there kind of a reset that went along with that?
Yeah, always. I think I like staying busy, but outside of the cage, I was still staying busy. You know, I was in Indonesia for a month. You know, just really maturing and learning a lot of life lessons and just seeing a lot of stuff. But after that, I trained with Valentina Shevchenko for a month, and so between that and this fight, you know, then I was right into training for this fight. So I've been staying pretty busy, even though y'all haven't seen me in the octagon. I've been active.
Do you feel those things this week as you really gear up toward the fight?
Feel what things?
Feel like the different things that you did in the time off.
Oh yeah, I feel like I've really matured as a woman. I feel like I've really gained I don't know, just a new muscle, just a new will, a reason to fight. You know, not just for the glory and this and that, but just you know, use what I can, like I said earlier, to make this world a better place, and you know, use what you know, the universe, God, or whatever you want to call it, is giving me that gift to change people's lives.
Having a familiarity with Kansas City, having fought before, to help kind of settle in and get relaxed during fighting?
I'm sorry, what?
Does that help you since fought before and you're familiar with Kansas City?
Yeah, I really enjoy, like, the first couple times of coming here, I didn't really appreciate how cool of a city this is. You know, it's you don't really hear about it, but I really like this place. I like the people. They're really friendly. It's kind of like that Southern hospitality feel to it. I don't know. I like it here. It's good vibes.
How do you feel after your camp physically and your weight cut and everything else? How do you feel?
You see that? Feel good.
You say you learned a few life lessons.
Yeah.
You want to share what you learned? Or?
I learned to appreciate my life and what opportunities that I'm given. You know, living here in the States, we have it really good, guys. You know, in Indonesia, you see just streets of just plastic, people burning plastic, trying to just, you know, just trying to stay clean, and just the simple things that we don't really think about, you know, garbage service, or, you know, a water that's green and kids are playing in it, they don't have their parents, you know, like, that's just simple things that we take for granted, and that's something that I've learned to really appreciate, not just my life and being able to just be healthy, but to be here and do something different.
You know, at the end of the day, you know, it's another fight, it's another title fight for myself. One of my coaches told me a great quote, forget his name, but he says, you know, don't celebrate when you're in the end zone unless you don't plan on being there again. You know, I plan on being in this position for a long time in my career, and yeah, that's how I answer that.
You obviously had to get ready for him last summer for a stretch before you got hurt. What's different getting ready for him the second time around? I mean, go back and look at both of the fights that he had in the meantime?
You know, I mean, obviously you do, but at the same time, I went back and looked at myself, did a little bit different things in this training camp. You know, we realized that I am genetically gifted as great cardio, speed, and fast. So we took away from that. We took a little bit of, basically when I used to train for my fights, I'll push my heart rate to like 185 to 190 beats per minute during strength and conditioning. And now Matt was like, okay, we don't need to do that. You're always in great shape. Let's focus more of your cardio and fight-specific stuff. And we can do a little more heavy lift and all that stuff. So this time coming into the camp, you know, I was a little bit heavier, which Matt wanted me to be, just because I'm just a small guy at 125.
What would tying Silva's record mean to you?
Oh, it'd be awesome, man. You know, at the end of the day, you know, Matt said another great quote. It's, you know, everybody keeps saying, you know, it's Anderson Silva's record, but it's not about chasing him. It's just chasing number 10. You know what I mean? Obviously, number 11 is the ultimate goal. But yeah, it would be sweet if we, you know, succeeded.
One of those defenses was against a Kansas City guy, Tim Elliott. He's also on the card. How did he push you? What do you think of him as a fighter?
I think Tim Elliott, he's a very, very durable, gritty fighter, big for the weight class. I mean, he's tall. It's like, what, 5'9", 5'8", or something like that. But he's a great fighter. He's good, and he has a lot of heart.
So will you celebrate with barbecue when you win?
We'll see, man. We'll see. You know, I got to go out there and win first, and then as long as my tummy's good, then we'll go out find the best barbecue out here.
Demetrious, I know earlier this week you called 10 just a stepping stone.
Yeah.
But it's gonna, if you do get there, you're gonna join Anderson, the guy who's considered the greatest of all time. Does that specifically mean something to you?
No, I mean, it does, but at the same time, like, you know, for me to, you know, when I look at guys who are greatest of all time, not saying that he's not, I like complete fighters, you know what I mean? I think Gegard Mousasi is very underrated. I mean, his grappling is legit. His boxing is good. He has titles in multiple organizations, even in K1, I believe. I could be wrong. So it's hard for me to say, you know, I train with Matt Hume, one of the best in the world. I mean, he can do it all, wrestle, clinch. You know, I'm not one of those guys like, this is my jiu-jitsu coach. Boxing coach, hey, dietitian. He's just here for the ride. So for me, I'm training with Matt Hume all the time, and Matt Hume can look at a fighter and be like, this guy has deficiencies, so how could he be the best fighter in the world? So kind of went on a rant there, but yeah.
That's all right. Have you thought, though, at all about legacy? Has that entered
No,
your mind yet?
no.
Not there yet.
I'm 30 years old, and even when I'm about 38 years old, I'm like, how's your legacy? I was like, I don't fucking know. I'm just ready to make sure to keep the lights on when I retire.
You get a new belt every time
You know what? I'm getting pissed off about this. I saw Daniel Cormier have 3 damn belts. So Dana White, WME, IMG, whoever the owner is, who writes the checks, give me 8 damn belts, please. And I'll make 9. And then if I win this one, I'll take this one home. So I'm gonna start, collecting these belts. All these guys, who else has them? Michael Bisping has 2 belts. And I'm just a nice guy. I'm just a company man. Like, I come here, I fight, and they take the belt away from me. I'm like, all right, peace. Call me when you want me to come fight again. And that's it. But now I'm seeing these guys with 3 belts. I'm like, I only got 1 belt, and I got to share it with 2 of my kids. So.
So when you win, do they put the belt around you, then they take it away?
Yes. Shame on them, right?
Let them take it away? Come on, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's always been the rules. Ever since Anderson Silva and Matt Hughes, they were beating people up all the time. They kept getting belts and belts. And the last thing I heard is that they were selling them and shit. So the UFC was like, I was trying to give it away, but I'm not going to give mine away, So if UFC wants to give me, 9 belts, if I'm successful on Saturday, I'll take the belt home and then send me 8 more. Then I can, do. One of the things I always wanted to do is Floyd Mayweather has a picture of himself with all his championship belts. And I think Andre Ward just did it too. And I think that'd be cool if I can recreate that same image to where it's like, hey, mixed martial arts, you got Conor holding up 2 belts, 2-weight champion. And I think it'd be cool if I was, to be successful and I got to 11, have just 11 UFC titles, and then I'll have my amateur belts and be like, this is the road I took to get here.
Don't you think you're probably, it's what I asked you earlier, you're a victim of your own success. They're so used to you winning too.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's Demetrious, he's in a title fight and he's going to win again.
Well, I mean, I guess I don't know how when to answer that.
I mean, I want you to talk about how good you think you are, really.
I think I'm one of the best in the world. I mean, there's not another guy out there who can mix it up as good as I can. I've been in fights where I've got dropped multiple times in a fight where guys, it's always funny because they look back at a Tim Elliott fight and goes, oh, that 1 minute and 45 seconds was the toughest test. I was like, you must have got about my first Dotson fight, my friend, or, my Dominick Cruz fight, or my Brad Pickett fight. But, I always remember the past and remember what I got to get here. And, so, like, if I get dropped, I'll make adjustments. If the guy keeps taking me down, I'll make adjustments. So it's always about making adjustments, and I think there's not a lot of guys out there who can make those adjustments during the fight.
So then is it important to you to be recognized as the best fighter pound for pound?
That's up to people, I can go out there and make a fucking porno, and they're like, this guy is legit. Pay-per-view numbers will be through the roof. I had the hottest woman up. Well, I have a wife on there, obviously. She's the hottest woman out there. On pay-per-view, how was that? Second hottest. Who's the first?
Well, your wife's first.
Oh, yeah, then I have second hottest. So I'll do a threesome. But, people's outlook on people change all the time. You know what I mean? Like, Daniel Cormier, he's one of the nicest guys I've ever known. People boo him. Like, if I ask him, I was like, hey, why do you guys boo Daniel Cormier? Do you guys boo him? No? You guys a fan? Okay, it's because Kansas City, they like him. They know, they seen his, all about that cake, all about that food. They saw the fried chicken, they reference whatever. But people, it's almost like if somebody was going to boo them, I'm like, why are you booing him? Like, oh, because he's a dick. So why is he a dick? He's married, he's got 2 kids, pays his bills, he's not breaking the law, he's not doing anything else. But you got a guy who's like, oh man, just pop for marijuana, man. Everybody's like, fuck yeah, this guy's awesome. It just doesn't make sense. So if I strive my whole career to try to get acceptance from the crowd, to when I first jumped in this sport, it was about fighting and going out there and competing. And then, there's not a lot of pressure trying to win people. It's like going to fucking high school and like, I want to be fucking prom king. So who do I have to sleep with in this company to get, that vote on that ballot for prom king? That's how I look at it, man.
So you get this win, Demetrious. Say you get another one. You set the record. Is it for you at some point to set a record that you don't think would ever be beat?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like, that's like Usain Bolt. I don't think anybody ever is going to beat that record. But 20 years, 30 years from now, there might be another fast guy coming out of Africa and just smoke that record. So for me, if I can set it as high as I can, why not?
What is that number for you?
It could be 15, it could be 16. I don't know. However long my body holds up. Or until I get tired of it and I was like, you know what? They got enough money in the bank, Matt. Why don't we just hang out and just chill and do other stuff?
And once you get to that point, is it at that point you start, maybe looking at some of these other options, going to other weight classes, then maybe kind of playing around and having some more fun?
Yeah, I always use that analogy. You know, a guy who works at an aquarium and he's cleaning out the goldfish tank, and his salary is like $200,000. He goes, hey, we need you to go clean up the 2 new great whites we just got in this aquarium. Sweet, you know, I'm gonna get hazardous pay, my insurance is gonna be double, and I'm gonna get, you know, an extra $200,000, you know, raise. No, my friend, no insurance claim. You're actually gonna make the same. The person's not gonna feel too good about cleaning that damn shark tank now, is he? So for me, it's all about negotiating, and you know, obviously, when the time comes, if I get to that point in my career, then we'll enter into those negotiations.
Yeah, 100%. You know, being able to get the double bonuses definitely alleviates the financial things and allows me to focus solely on and primarily on training, which is always the key. You know, last fight was a good result, but I got straight back into the gym the next week and got straight back to work. You know, I've made some serious gains between last camp and this one, and you know, I really look forward to getting out there on Saturday and just throwing everything at him.
Were you confident after the last one that a name like Jacare would be the kind of name that you'd get for your next fight?
Yeah, surely I would have deserved the top 5 opponent. You know, I had put in a good fight with a good result against Brunson, and I'd fought two opponents ranking lower than me. I thought it was just my due to fight someone higher, and you know, UFC provided, and I'm just absolutely honoured to have such a hard opponent.
It should be obvious in a normal situation what a win over a guy like that would do for you, but things seem so convoluted right now. Do you look that far down the road, or you just kind of take this one fight at a time and say just get past Jacare and then think about title pictures?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly that, man. My future doesn't go further than Jacare. I need to put all my. I think if I would look past him, that would be disrespecting him, and he is a fighter I do not want to disrespect. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to solely, with all the intent I have, try and put a stop to him, and yeah, you know, become better for it.
Is he the best name of the guys you've just beaten in this run? Is he the best name on that list?
If you're looking at profiles, probably, but we're the best name. You know, every fight's been hard. Every fighter that I've fought has had a chance of beating me. So I don't judge a fight on his worth like that. But in terms of like renown and you know, just titles, Jacare's got a lot of jiu-jitsu titles behind him. He's got a lot of MMA titles behind him, and it's going to be a really good name to drop.
Robert, what were you watching in Jacare? What you could get advantage in him?
He hits like a truck, and he's got next to legendary jiu-jitsu. You know, thank God it's not a jiu-jitsu match. You know, we're going to go out there, we're going to start standing, and it's a fight. You know, I think I have superior hands. I've got really good movement. I'm very fast, and I hit hard. So if he can get around that, props to him.
And do you think that you get a little underestimated by the others when you get in a fight against Jacare?
Definitely. You know, I think I've been underestimated for a while now. The thing is, you know, me living so far away and training exclusively down there as well, it's just, people don't even know who I am until I get here. You know what I mean? And I love shocking the crowds, I love getting new fans, and I just love putting people to work.
And what's the kid from down under come? Hey? What's the kid from down under will shoot today?
I'm going to go out there on Saturday, and I'm going to go for the finish. I look for every fight to go for a finish, and you know, the fight will go wherever it is. You know, I'm looking for a war. I'm going to go there expecting a war, but it's not going to be because I didn't try to finish him.
But by finish, you don't mean submit Jacare.
Yeah, I wish I could. If I could submit him, I will. But you know, the chances of that, you know, I wouldn't put a bet on that.
I'm in health, and I'm ready for a fight. I do not sit and wait for a title shot because I need to fight, and I am a professional, and I need to stay ready for our opponent, and I come to work. I do not sit and wait for a special fighting.
Other guys do sit around and wait for that special fight, for that title fight. Are you happy to just go out and fight every 2 months for the rest of the year? And if that title shot finally comes around, with as goofy as things are, you'll take it?
Você vai ficar feliz, então você lutaria a cada 2 meses, se manter ativo, em vez de esperar até chegar a vez do cinturão?
Yes. Sorry about my English. I improved, and because I'm in health and I'm ready for a challenge, and I cannot sit in my home and waiting for Bisping because Bisping, he is a disaster for the middleweight division, and he stopped the all middleweight division, And right now we need fight. Me, Romero, Luke, and Mousasi. We need to stay in the octagon. Is the best fight for the title because the Bisping, he don't not fight. He don't fight to any tough opponent. He's afraid, and I can't believe that Michael Bisping afraid get on Luke and Romero. I don't know. It's serious. Yes.
So do you look at the division as those guys that you just named are the real top of the division? And
Yes.
he's just the guy who has to have the belt?
It's good for the fans.
Esses caras são os caras que realmente são os top da divisão?
Yeah. Yes. Me, now Romero, Luke, Mousasi, and I. We need fight. We need to stay in the octagon. And how do you say? O cara que sair luta pelo cinturão.
The winner are just 4 guys fight for the belt.
Yeah, because the fans need a good fight because the fans pay me and pay me another great fighters and he wants to great fighters.